Let him crash on the couch. He's just the planner. My father chuckled after handing my cruise cabin to Sarah. Then find a motel, I snapped, as I voided the vacation, swapped the locks, and pulled back every cent. My name's Ethan, and I'm 36. For as long as I can recall, I've been the one silently handling everything in the background, coordinating schedules, covering expenses, fixing messes, and keeping life on track while my family smiled for the camera. I'm not saying this to boast, it's just how things were. I was the dependable one, the person everyone counted on. By age 12, I was scheduling my mom's medical appointments and tutoring my younger siblings. My dad would slap my shoulder and call me the backbone, but backbones don't get applause. They just keep things upright until they finally crack. This year, Dad was hitting 65, a milestone. Retirement, health plans, the works. I wanted it to be memorable. He'd always dreamed of a tropical getaway. Sandy shores, turquoise waves, endless buffets. So I started planning 6 months ahead. I researched cruise companies, compared cabins, and selected exciting excursions for each stop. I even worked with the cruise's event team to arrange a custom cake inscribed with Happy 65th, Captain Ron, in silver icing. I shelled out $14,200 for the trip without blinking. It was for Dad, but also for the whole family. I reserved cabins for my parents, my brother Caleb and his wife, my sister Lauren, her partner Sarah, and myself, 7 of us total. I ensured everyone got a balcony suite with all activities prepaid. Kayaking in St. Lucia, zip lining in Puerto Rico, a distillery tour in Jamaica. The full experience? I even crafted personalized luggage tags for everyone. 3 days before departure, I was reviewing my checklist when my phone pinged. A text from Lauren in our family chat. Hey Ethan, heads up, Sarah's taking your cabin. Dad says she's more fun and wants her nearby. Cool with you? I stared, stunned. I reread it, thinking it might be a prank. But no. Caleb chimed in with, typical dad move, LOL. Sarah dropped a thumbs up emoji. No one checked with me. No one asked if I was okay giving up the room I'd funded. No gratitude. It was my money, my booking, my gift. Yet I was sidelined like some tag-along. I sat there, not furious yet, just numb. You know that tight feeling in your chest like a storm's brewing? That's what it was. A slow, chilling realization that this wasn't new. It was just the priciest version of a lifelong pattern. I was always giving. They were always taking. Sarah was more entertaining. Sarah was more loved. Sarah fit in. Me? I was just the guy who planned it all, paid for it, and was expected to shrug off being excluded. I stared at the text for ages. Then I responded, got it. Just 2 words. Not fine, not okay, neutral. No one followed up. That night, I poured a bourbon, opened my laptop, and accessed every booking site I'd used. The cruise portal, the shore excursions, the cake order, even the airport transport I'd arranged. I canceled it all. Here's the thing about being the organizer, the problem solver, the one in charge. I had every login, every confirmation code, all under my name. At 3:17 a.m., Lauren texted, "Hey, did you cancel the kayaking? It's gone from the app." I didn't reply. At 4:09 a.m., Caleb, "Dude, why's the cruise booking gone? What's up?" Silence from me. By 6:30 a.m., Mom was calling. I let it ring. Then I powered off my phone and took a walk. I expected them to be annoyed, sure, but I didn't expect the chaos that followed. It was a complete meltdown. My parents had bragged to their friends about the cruise. Caleb and Lauren had taken time off work. They'd arranged babysitters, pet care, and smart home timers. Sarah had bought a whole wardrobe of beach outfits, even posting on social media with #cruisevibes. And now, nothing. No trip, no cake, no beach. I'd even canceled their premium drink packages. But that wasn't all. While they scrambled, calling support, shouting at customer service, trying to rebook at inflated last-minute prices or finding sold-out slots, I was making my own moves. See, for years, my parents had lived in a house I technically owned, inherited from my grandmother. I'd let them stay rent-free. They didn't worry about mortgages, and I didn't need the place then. It felt like the right thing to do as a son. But that changed the moment I saw that text. I contacted a property manager, scheduled an inspection, and sent a formal eviction notice. 3 days later, the locks were changed. Their names were removed from utility accounts. I terminated the family phone plan, still under my name. Their storage unit, which I'd been paying for, was set to be cleared out by month's end. I didn't rant. I didn't send an angry tirade. I just acted quietly, step by step. The best part? They didn't realize the cruise was canceled until they reached the port, packed and giddy, wearing matching shirts that read, "Ron's 65th. Sail on." No check-in, no reservation, no cabin, no Ethan. And that was just the start. By the time they pieced it together, it was too late. The calls flooded in, not texts, calls. Voicemails, too. Some were frantic, some were furious, others were baffled or pleading. Mom's first message: "Ethan, sweetie, there's a mix-up. The cruise line says we're not booked. Can you sort it out? You handled everything, right?" Then Caleb: "Okay, not cool, man. We get you're mad. Sarah didn't mean anything by it. Call me. Let's fix this." Lauren didn't leave a voicemail, just called 6 times in a row. "Sarah?" She sent a DM, her first message to me in weeks. "I know we got off on the wrong foot, Ethan, but this trip means so much to your dad. Don't ruin his birthday over a mix-up." A mix-up? I left her message unread for an hour, then marked it seen. I didn't reply, because this wasn't about a vacation anymore. It was about every family photo I snapped while being told to stay out of the frame, every unacknowledged thank you for planning, every holiday I spent cleaning up while they lounged and watched sports, every time they said, "Ethan's got it," like I was their assistant, not their son or brother. For years, I made excuses. I told myself they didn't mean it. They were just busy. They loved me in their own way. But when they gave my cabin to Sarah because she was more fun, I realized they didn't forget me. They just didn't care. And now they were the ones locked out, literally. 3 days after the cruise fiasco, they returned to the house they'd been living in and couldn't enter. I parked across the street, windows tinted, watching silently. Not to be cruel, but to see it for myself. I needed them to feel what I'd felt for years, overlooked, insignificant, small. Mom tried the door first, then hit the doorbell. Dad fumbled with his keys, but the locks were new. They knocked louder, rang again. I watched their confusion turn to frustration, then panic. Caleb checked his phone, probably reading the legal notice I'd emailed and mailed, giving them 30 days to vacate for unpaid rent and unauthorized guests. Technically true, since Sarah had been staying over without my consent. Lauren tried the back door, locked. Eventually, the neighbor, who once laughed when I said I was never invited to their barbecues, noticed. As I drove away, he gave me a subtle nod. After that, their messages turned sharp. "You had no right. Where are we supposed to go, Ethan? This is crazy. You're acting like we're strangers. Sarah's social media posts about the cruise vanished." Then things really unraveled. A former colleague of Dad's contacted me, asking why the emergency fund wasn't dispersing. My name was still on that account as a co-signer. Another case of me being too helpful. So I fixed it. I transferred the funds to a trust in my name, all above board. I confirmed with a lawyer it was legal, and it was. Then I canceled the family's streaming accounts. Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, shared plans, gone. Passwords, changed. Email access, locked. A week later, Mom called. I let it ring. Her voicemail sounded drained. "Sweetheart, we're lost. Your dad's crashing at Caleb's, and Lauren's with a friend. I know you're hurt, but we're family. We've messed up, but we love you. Can we talk?" I sat on my couch, surrounded by quiet. No shouting, no demands, just peace. Then Lauren texted, "No greeting, no apology. Are you really cutting off your whole family over a prank?" That's when it hit me. It wasn't a prank. It was the culmination of every time I was dismissed, taken for granted, then expected to swoop in and save the day. I considered replying, but instead emailed my attorney. Not them, my lawyer. This wasn't about a canceled trip anymore. It was a full reset, and they hadn't seen the half of it. I didn't respond to Lauren. I didn't need to. I was already moving forward, drafting documents with my lawyer to sever all ties. No more emotional strings, no financial burdens, no legal links, no big scene, no shouting, no slamming doors. I didn't declare I'm done because I'd been done for years. Quietly, bit by bit, like someone who stops tending a garden, not out of spite, but because they realized it wasn't theirs to nurture. The lawyer's office was small, tucked between a cafe and a dry cleaner, but it felt like a new chapter. I came prepared with a detailed list. My name was still tied to more than I'd realized. My parents' health insurance, a medical copay account, an emergency credit line they'd used for years, even the family car's title, which I'd co-signed to refinance years ago. I told the lawyer to untangle it all, transfer ownership, cancel agreements, cut access, the storage unit. I had it opened. I didn't toss anything. That's not me. I hired movers to pack everything neatly and deliver it to Caleb's, with the invoice taped to the boxes. Their messages shifted. No more anger, just confusion, sadness, crocodile tears. "Ethan, this isn't you. Can't we just talk like grown-ups? You're being cold." Cold? I almost laughed. For 36 years, I'd been patient. I'd forgiven. I'd gone out of my way to help. I skipped my high school prom to bail Caleb out after a fender bender. I covered Lauren's rent 3 times and never mentioned it. I sent Mom and Dad to Maine after Dad's heart procedure to lift their spirits. I didn't do it for praise. I did it because I thought that's what family did, but they didn't see it that way. To them, my help wasn't love. It was a resource, something to take without a second thought. The truth sank in when I got a call from someone I hadn't spoken to in years. Uncle Mike, Dad's estranged brother. They'd fallen out over a supposed loan. Dad said Mike never repaid it. Mike said it never existed. I didn't know who was right. When Mike called, I almost didn't pick up. His voice was heavy, deliberate. "Ethan, I'm not taking sides," he said, "but you should know. Your mom left a voicemail on my wife's phone by mistake. It kept recording. She was ranting about you. Said you're acting superior, that you don't understand sacrifice, that you're doing this to hurt them because you can't stand their happiness." He paused. "I just thought you should know." I thanked him and hung up, sitting in silence. It wasn't her words that hurt most. It was the confirmation. Even now, they couldn't own their mistakes. They still painted themselves as victims in a story I never chose to be in. The next day, I updated my will, removing every family member. I set up a trust fund, not for them, but for scholarships for first-generation college students. No fanfare, no name on a building, just something real. That week, I changed my phone number. New carrier, new account, new device. Only 3 people got the number: my assistant, my lawyer, and my best friend, Lucas. Lucas came over that night with pizza and a case of beer. He didn't say much, just handed me a drink and asked if I wanted to watch something light. We picked a terrible sci-fi flick with cheesy effects and awful lines. It was perfect. Then came a knock. Unexpected. No deliveries, no appointments. Lucas paused the movie. I checked the peephole. It was Lauren. Her hair was messy, her face drawn. She held her phone and a manila envelope. She didn't look angry, just worn out. I didn't open the door. She knocked again, softer. "Ethan, can we talk?" Silence. Then, "It's about Dad." Something happened. She paused. "He tripped in Caleb's garage. He's fine. A twisted ankle, some bruises. But he's rattled. He's asking for you." I stayed still. No guilt, no urge to fix it like before. Just calm. I wondered what their play was. Another attempt to pull me back? Lauren spoke again. "We know we screwed up. We know you don't trust us. Maybe you never should have. But he's not asking for Caleb or Sarah. He wants you." I opened the door. Not because she said the magic words, but because I was ready. I met her eyes and saw exhaustion, maybe a hint of regret. Her voice was hoarse. "He wants to apologize." I nodded, then let him. She hesitated. "To you, Ethan? Not in a text chain, not through me. To you." I stepped onto the porch, closing the door behind me. I didn't invite her in. She handed me the envelope. Inside was a handwritten note from Dad, his scrawl uneven. "Ethan, I'm not great with words. I leaned on you too much. I expected too much and never thanked you properly. You always came through and I treated it like it was nothing. I let others treat you poorly, and sometimes I did too. That was wrong. I'm sorry. You didn't deserve it. I hope you're okay. You deserve to be." Dad, I read it twice, waiting for a feeling. Anger, relief, grief. But all I felt was that it was honest. Not perfect, but real. Lauren said. He didn't call because he thought you'd hang up. He figured a text would get blocked. She wasn't wrong. I'm not here to guilt you, she added. I just wanted you to know he's trying. I nodded, handed back the envelope. Tell him I read it. Will you? She started. No. She nodded slowly, accepting it. Okay. She turned and drove off. The next day, I mailed a small package to Caleb's place. Inside was a photocopy of Dad's letter and a note. Thanks for the apology. I accept it. But this is the end. Be well. That was it. No big reunion, no tearful resolution. I was done. Instead, I built something new. I launched the scholarship fund, named after my grandmother, the one who left me the house. It helped 4 students attend trade school debt-free. I met them, shared advice, things I wished I'd heard. Later, Lucas and I took a trip to Greece. I'd always wanted to go, but never made time. Standing by the Aegean, I finally exhaled. Back home, I bought a loft downtown. I sold the family house for a solid profit and funneled it into a program for first-generation entrepreneurs. I didn't announce it, didn't tell my family, didn't explain. I just lived. Nearly a year after the cruise that never was, I got an unmarked letter. Inside was a photo of Dad in a chair, arm in a sling, offering a faint smile. On the back, someone wrote, "We still mention you. Sarah tried making that chili you liked. She scorches it every time. Thought you'd laugh." I didn't reply, but I grinned. It wasn't closure. Closure's too tidy. It was better. Freedom. Freedom from being the fixer. Freedom from being leaned on without being seen. Freedom to choose who's in my life. I never stopped caring about them. I just stopped letting them act like I didn't matter. They can live with their choices. And I'm finally living for me. So, what are your thoughts on this story? Do you agree with what happened, or do you see it differently? Let us know your opinion in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming stories. See you in the next one!